Alright, hello everyone. I'm the server owner, Monkeyboys, and welcome to another episode of Advancius Behind the Blocks. In this video, we're going to be covering the removal of the factions game mode on Advancius. So, first, to start off, how did we get here? Why are we removing a game mode that we put in a bunch of time, money, effort, and love into over almost 8 years at this point? So I know that this decision is likely not going to be one that some players are going to like, and it was not an easy decision to make. This is something that we've been thinking about for a long time, that it might happen, and I guess basically the issues have gotten to the point where we need to do this, unfortunately, and because we just don't have the ability to spend the time and effort to fix the issues that we have. So, and I'll get into those issues in a little bit. But I do want to say thank you to all of the players and staff first, who helped make factions fun for all the people over the years. I really appreciate everyone who played factions on Advancius. I hope that people can understand this decision and know that we thought a lot about doing it before we're doing this right now. Yeah, not an easy decision. So yeah, I'll get into kind of why we are doing this though. So first, 1.8, that's a big one. 1.8, it was released in 2014. That is almost 12 years ago at this point. So yeah, it's old, and trying to maintain old things gets old over time because the software that we use to support the current latest versions, we have to keep updating that, and also the core infrastructure of the rest of the network. We also need to continuously keep updating it because the rest of the network is, at least trying to be the latest version. So yeah, we kind of whenever we need to update one of those core infrastructure components, or updating the version support, that oftentimes has issues with 1.8 because it's so old, and a lot of developers for the software that we use are no longer supporting 1.8 because it is so old at this point. And so that causes us to need to create our own solutions and spend a lot of time trying to make it work for us, which puts a lot of restrictions on us, and also takes away our time that we could be spending on, more fun stuff, or fixing more important issues, maybe, that were at least issues that we'd want to be fixing. So yeah, so that's one, is 1.8. And kind of, similar is the PvP, which is, 1.8 PvP has also kind of slowly lost popularity amongst new players over the years. So that, and just in general, harder to support again, and has issues with newer versions. The skill differences between players who are experienced with 1.8 and new players just starting out is very high. So yeah, 1.8 PvP is kind of, a reason that, and all of these, by the way, before I keep going with these reasons, is, all of these individually, I think, you know, would be okay, but combined, it's led to this decision. So yeah, I guess next thing, I'll showcase this. This is Google Trends. I think we've shown it in a different Advancius Behind the Blocks episode, but just to recap, this showcases trends in search terms, and how often search terms are searched. So here I have different game modes, and just have Minecraft, you know, Minecraft Skyblock servers, Minecraft faction servers, etc. And so we can see like Skyblock is 80, Factions is 18, Earth is 27, Townie is 11, Prison is 52. So Earth and Townie, kind of, we have that as one game mode on Advancius. So if we combine these two, kind of everything is at minimum like 38, and Factions is kind of 18 in terms of search term interest in Google. So yeah, I guess just, you know, Factions is not as popular as it used to be in 2014. It's actually our least popular game mode in terms of Google searches. So at least out of the main, you know, game modes like Prison and Skyblock and stuff. Yeah, that is another reason. I guess, yeah, back to more reasons. Tickets. So we get more tickets relative to player, or the most tickets relative to players from Factions compared to other game modes. Like, you know, even though Skyblock has more players than Factions on average, we get more tickets related to Factions than Skyblock normally. And that's because Factions is PvP and raiding based, which just has inherently more drama and more lost stuff or lost bases or issues or hacking or whatever related to it, which all of those end up with having more tickets for us. And more tickets means more time that the staff have to spend handling whatever the ticket is, rather than making the server better for everyone. So yeah, that is one of the things. I'm not saying tickets in themselves are bad. I'm just saying the you know, relative amounts of tickets compared to how many players we normally have on Factions, or the popularity of Factions, I guess, is higher than other game modes. So yeah, next, I guess kind of related, but the tickets on average take a little bit longer because they need a deeper investigation, oftentimes with these raids, and inciting and stuff like that. We need to spend more time investigating what actually happened, since we're often getting the ticket, or at least handling the ticket hours or days after the whatever incident happened. So yeah, that takes time to look through all the logs and you know, check out the area and stuff like that, roll it back if needed or whatever. So yeah, that is also a reason. And then I guess cost is another one. It's not like, you know, a huge one, but I mean, Factions is one of our most expensive game modes to host, because, you know, using TNT cannons, it does require more CPU and RAM than just like hosting something that isn't doing that often. So yeah, I mean, that is an aspect of it. I mean, I don't, you know, money is not like ever going to be a reason why we remove a game mode, but it is, yeah, I mean, it is a factor in this. All right, next. Yeah, next, it's the learning curve is a lot higher than other game modes. So Prison and Skyblock, players who have never played those game modes can pick it up relatively easily. Like, it's not, you know, it's not as high of a skill ceiling. Like, you know, Factions, if you have never built a cannon, like, no new player is just gonna figure out how to build like a TNT cannon that can get through regen walls, you know? Like, that's, you know, that's, or just how even to make a regen wall, like, base and stuff like that. That's not, like, unless you've looked up the tutorial or whatever, that's not something players are probably very likely to just figure out. So, yeah. Yeah, and all of that stuff takes learning. There's just a lot of stuff to learn with Factions that isn't common to like other game modes. And so, yeah, that makes it harder for new players. It also makes it harder for staff to learn. And staff, when there are issues, if a staff has not played Factions before, it's harder for them to figure out what to do in a situation or figure out if something is breaking the rules or not. You know, because they might not know what the difference is for a certain scenario. Like, you know, unapproved cannon, is this cannon approved or not, and like how to tell and all of that. You know, it's hard to train someone to figure all of that out and know for every single scenario what is and what isn't. You know, so yeah, or at least harder than other game modes. Next, Factions needs more updates than other game modes. Oftentimes, Factions, after like 1 month of the last update, people are asking for an update. We've kind of settled on like about 1.5 months between updates. That's like the absolute maximum I can do, given how much time goes into the updates. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it kind of just makes it so that we have to constantly be thinking about the next Factions update and doesn't allow us time to work on other things that we want to work on, because we have to keep updating Factions and kind of puts pressure on us, or at least the development team, to make sure that those are out. Yeah, and then last thing, I think just in general, the PvP and raiding focus is not really the direction that I want to just take the server and community. I think PvP and raiding, although it definitely has its place, and I think it can be very fun, for the players who get raided or who get killed in PvP and lose all their stuff and whatever, and you know, I think it can be very demoralizing to work on something and get all your stuff together and all of that, and then, you know, you just go have dinner or something, and then you come back and all of it's gone and you're dead, and you lost all your stuff that you've been working on for the last 2 weeks. And you know, some players, like, they'll stick around, or you know, and try again and whatever, and they like doing that. But definitely there's a good amount of players that will just leave and quit, or they'll at least quit for that season or something when that happens. And you know, it's not just an issue in Factions, but because Factions has such an emphasis on raiding and PvP, that it happens a lot more in Factions. And so, yeah, and just in general, I think, yeah, the PvP and raiding focus is not really what I want to take the server and community. So, yeah, that's kind of all the reasons, though. Yeah, and I think now that we've gone through those, on an individual level, could those problems be solved? Yeah, I think it's possible if we had enough time and resources to solve all of those things. but just all of them combined, it gets to be kind of a lot, and we just also don't really have like a lot of time and resources to do those, and I'll be honest, I'm not like super interested in trying to resolve all those things. So at this time anyway. So yeah. So yeah, I know that this might not be an ideal decision for some players. So you know, I'm sorry for that. I guess just to make it clear though, I was the one who made this decision. This was not like a decision that, you know, I was pressured into by staff or players or something. I mean, I will always listen to feedback, and the staff will always listen to feedback too. But yeah, we're still making decisions ourselves, and ultimately a big decision like this can only be decided by me. So yeah, don't worry if you think, you know, if you're thinking that this was due to some pressure by players or staff or something. You know, you can blame me, I guess. So yeah, but you know, I have no regrets. I think yeah, over all these years we've learned a lot. I've had a lot of fun doing it. And also, there's no other game modes planned to be removed, so if you're worried about that, no, don't need to be worried. And also, there's no plans to bring factions back in the future. You know, maybe in 10 years or something, I'll change my mind, but at least for the foreseeable future, we're not bringing factions back. So, yeah, if you're wondering that, the answer is no. But yeah, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching, and thank you again to all the people who helped make factions fun for all these years. I really enjoyed hosting factions and enjoyed seeing all the players having a good time with it. So yeah, and thank you for understanding the decision. But yeah, I will see you.